I do want to get to this story that's the big sort of story about the Democratic dark money and the Democratic influencer sphere. I'm calling it the chorus kerfuffle. And this is a story that has like a lot of layers, because like there's the story itself, and then there's like Taylor Lorenz, who wrote the story, and her involvement with the story. And there's just like, it's like a sort of a hall of mirrors of sort of like competing endorsements, sponsorships, and sort of, I don't know, democratic politicking. Basically, like Taylor Lorenz wrote this story for Wired, and it basically involves this outfit called Chorus, which is, quote, the nonprofit arm of a liberal influencer marketing platform. And it basically, the article is about like that they have cultivated what they're calling like an incubator for sort of liberal, democratic online creators and influencers. And the crux of the story is about the contracts that these people were either signed or pressured into signing, where basically they were offered $8,000 a month to like sort of be part of this Chorus incubator program, but they couldn't tell anyone that they were being paid by this outfit. And the contracts themselves seemed to come with some stipulations about the kind of topics they could talk about, and like, you know, their autonomy as creators in the sort of political entertainment sphere.
Could they talk about the veto, the gay arc?
You know,
because then I wouldn't do it. Otherwise, I would.
You know, that was actually included in the contract. They were very explicit about not discussing the Johnny Cakes hot.
I would never do it then.
It says, I'm just going to read a little bit from Taylor's article here. It says here, for years, Democrats have struggled to work with influencers. In 2024, President Joe Biden's White House snubbed several prominent content creators after they lightly criticized the administration over its policies on climate change, COVID, Gaza, and the TikTok ban. Content creators who challenged Kamala Harris, including Hassan Piker, were similarly unwelcome at campaign events. After the Democrats lost in November, they faced a reckoning. It was clear that the party had failed to successfully navigate the new media landscape. While Republicans spent decades building a powerful and robust independent media infrastructure, maximizing controversy to drive attention and maintaining tight relationships with creators despite their small disagreements with Trump, the Democrats have largely relied on outdated strategies in traditional media to get their message out. Now, Democrats hope that the secretive Chorus Creator Incubator Program, funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund, might tip the scales. The program kicked off last month, and creators were told by Chorus that over 90 influencers were set to take part. Creators told Wired that the contract stipulated they'd be kicked out and essentially cut off financially if they ever even so much as acknowledged that they were part of the program. Some creators also raised concerns about a slew of restrictive clauses in the contract. Now, the people involved in this are some names that you might be familiar with, but most of them are people that are sort of, you know, I'm encountering them for the first time here. And I just want to read this from Taylor. It says here, influencers included in communication about the program, and in some cases an onboarding message for those receiving payments from the 1630 Fund, include Olivia Giuliani. I'm familiar with her.
Juliana.
Oh, yes.
Yes, not Rudy's daughter.
Yeah, she got divorced. She got divorced from Rudy Giuliani after his car incident. She would not stand by him.
Now, Olivia, I am familiar with. She's described here as a centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the 2024 Democratic National Convention. Lauren Pietra, a former Playboy executive turned political influencer who hosts a podcast for Occupy Democrats. Barrett Adair, and this is my favorite detail in the article, Barrett Adair, a content creator who runs an American Doll-themed pro-DNC meme account.
What?
I'm going to read that again. An American Girl doll-themed pro-DNC meme account.
Who does that appeal to?
Like Smithers, if he was
Smithers,
real.
Yeah.
Next up is Suzanne Lambert, who has called herself a Regina George liberal. That's a Mean Girls reference, right?
That's cool.
What does that mean?
She's like, you know, I think basically, someone else has covered this, but the Suzanne Lambert, the Regina George liberal, just means that she was a Republican until like a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And I think Regina George, that's Mean Girls. So she's like sort of a mean girl liberal influencer.
Yeah. It's like, I like politics, but I won't just wear like a potato sack with a rope tied around it. I'll wear a skirt. I do fashion.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like Amy Klobuchar or Hillary? Like Hillary, like snapping her fingers and saying, "Give me gum now." Isn't that just all those people? Isn't it just a type A politics person?
Yeah. And like, like that, I think that's her brand. And I think that's part of the appeal that they're paying $8,000 a month for.
Yeah, there's never been a woman in Democratic politics who's like, I think that steak and blowjob day should replace Valentine's Day. I get along with guys better. Like a woman who talks like a woman character in Control Alt Delete.
They could try it.
Yeah.
If I was a woman, that's what I would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be one of the guys. Because then I wouldn't have to change
less
anything.
drama.
Yeah, it'd just be easier that way.
Yeah.
I'll be like a football influencer. It's like talking about sports and things like that. Something for the fellas. Ariel Fodor, an education creator with 1.4 million followers on TikToks.
That's a crazy name. That's like if one parent was an orc.
A half orc education creator.
Yeah.
Sander Jennings, another great name, a former TLC reality star and older brother of trans influencer Jazz Jennings. David Pacman, who hosts an independent progressive... I have heard of David Pacman, who hosts an independent progressive show on YouTube covering news and politics. Leigh McGowan, who goes by the online moniker Politics Girl, and dozens of others. The first two declined to comment. The rest did not respond to requests for comment.
Politics Girl, that's cool. That's like if you wrote these people in a movie or a TV show, like a Law and Order episode about a political influencer. Her name is just Politics Girl.
Yeah. Politics Girl locked Vote Boy in a flooding basement to get more likes. That's a very
that's a very
season
SVU
20.
plot line,
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to pay these people?
Looks like Politics Girl is going to turn into Politics One Woman because she's going to be in prison for life.
They're seeking out people who are doing it for free and then just giving them like $6,000.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is the obvious question here. It's because, like, if someone already has 1.4 million followers on TikTok and like they're already doing this content, I mean, I think this is, as Taylor identifies in the beginning of the article, this is like the Democratic Party's attempt to take the people who are already doing this for free and, I don't know, like corral them into a more sort of well-oiled sort of media and communications organ, like, because like in the article they talk about like there are sort of like tutorials and training sessions about like how to expand the reach of your posts and sort of like message coordination. I think like they're trying to like I think after ignoring the internet for a long time, I think they're just trying to like shape what's already there into an even more effective means of political communication. And this gets into like the contract stipulations about what they are and aren't allowed to talk about. And it says here, following the initial outreach, many creators expressed concern about some stipulations. According to copies of the contract viewed by Wired, creators in the program must funnel all bookings with lawmakers and political leaders through Chorus. Creators also have to loop in Chorus on any independently organized engagements with government officials or political leaders. Creators in the program are not allowed to use any funds or resources that they receive as part of the program to make content that supports or opposes any political candidate or campaign without express authorization from Chorus in advance and in writing per the contract. And it says the goal of Chorus, according to a fundraising deck obtained by Wired, is to build new infrastructure to fund independent progressive voices online at scale. The creators who join the incubator are expected to attend regular advocacy trainings and daily messaging check-ins. Those messaging check-ins are led by Cohen, that's Brian Tyler Cohen. On rapid response days, the creators also have to attend at least 2 Chorus newsroom events per month, which are events Chorus plans, often with lawmakers. So, like, Alex, like, I think that what's going on here is, like, they're taking a bunch of reliably just sort of partisan Democratic online influencers and sort of putting them in Democratic Party boot camp to make them even more reliable surrogates and mouthpieces for whatever the Democratic Party is trying to do, whatever candidate they're trying to support, or whatever message they're trying to promulgate. And, one of the details here was about like how they are allegedly not allowed to, like, if you take the money, you're not allowed to talk about Gaza, right? Because that makes the Democratic Party, puts them in an awkward position, makes them look bad. And I think the way to look at this is like, I don't think it's so much that this, 1630 fund and Chorus or whatever. I think the way to look at it is not so much that they're paying these people not to talk about Gaza. I think they're paying them because they've selected people who would never talk about it to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of these
yeah.
people need the money to be towing the Democratic Party line. And I'm not sure
Yeah.
what that is either. Like, what is the messaging that they're putting out? Like, I don't see any Democratic messaging other than the shit from Newsom. But
Yeah.
that's more of like that's directed more towards like normies. It's not directed towards TikTok.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess at this point, just like, no, Hakeem Jeffries is a competent adult. Like, there's no message or like central set of policies that you could identify with the party at this point. It is just like, yeah, Gavin Newsom, like, retruthing things and nothing else.
Well,
this has all the hallmarks of people trying to look busy.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, people trying to look busy is why 90% of things happen.
Yeah, that's our economy.
I mean, the thing about there being like 2 monthly briefings where they go, okay, everyone, just to remind you, we're still Democrats. Like, this is Brian Tyler Cohn, who, do any of you guys remember him?
I've seen his posts.
like,
I don't really know anything about him. He's like a news guy.
Yeah, he's like a liberal influencer who has like really alarmingly prominent temples. Like he reminds me of Professor X for that reason. I think he controls all these people with his telepathy.
Yeah.
But he was early on the influencers for Bloomberg train, and
Right.
it's not very surprising to see him in charge of something like this. But this does have all the hallmarks of him approaching, like David Geffen and people like that, and going, okay, I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna get a liberal Joe Rogan, and to show how serious I am, we're gonna have 3 meetings a month, 3 entire Zoom calls. And whatever guy he was talking to went, sure, that sounds amazing, Brian.
Yeah, and I feel like I think you identified this. This is their incubator program, not to like support someone who already might be, who might have the mantle of the liberal Joe Rogan. This is like their $6 million, like the $6 Million Man Project to create a liberal Joe Rogan through this incubator program. And Alex, I think you identified like the essential like sort of conundrum here is that like, what is the message that they're paying for? Because what they're seeking to counteract, either on the right or on the left, are voices in the independent media sphere who are all very critical of the Democratic Party for varying reasons, either right wing or left wing. And like they want their own sort of farm system of people who support the Democratic Party line, which is at this current moment, whatever it is that we're doing, that's good. And don't complain about it. See, like if you're dissatisfied with Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer, you're wrong. And like, what do we stand for? I don't know. Our politicians. Well, what we stand for is the Democrats who currently hold office, and we should support all of them. It's trying to reverse engineer a liberal Joe Rogan from like the politics Mean Girls and American Doll influencers. An interesting thing in the article, though, is that it says the influencers offered the funding were given just days to sign the contract, which was essentially presented on a take it or leave it basis. At least one cohort was specifically told they could not have their lawyers redline it. In the group chat formed to discuss contract negotiations, some creators discussed the clause prohibiting the disparagement of other creators. Not being able to criticize anyone else affiliated with Chorus felt restrictive to some, according to text messages posted to the chat. So I'm just going to like, my sort of, here's my 2 cents, my advice for any sort of budding influencer or creator out there, or really anyone in any field in life. When someone offers you a contract and gives you an hour to sign it and doesn't let your lawyer look at it, they probably don't have your best interest at heart. Like, who the fuck who is Cora? Are they Jerry Jones or something? Like,
I'm of 2 minds on this, because like on one hand, yeah, that's pretty bad practices. Like to tell, like, don't let a lawyer look at this. You like, here's all these restrictions, but also like, judging by what I've seen, if you at any point have been offered a chorus contract, you should probably kill yourself. So I don't know. It's sort of like Amy Klobuchar abusing her staff,
Yeah.
It could be bad, but then again, they work for Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, like, are those people going to disparage the other people? Are people just going to go really in on Olivia Giuliana? Like posting like the right wing stuff, like the the America First post that was going around. Like, there's a DNC heavyweight, an influencer who puts everything on the table, like putting out all those hack jokes. Like, one of them's going to do that. They're just going to be like, oh, look at this fucking cow. It just seems like, what's the point of any of this? It's so weird. Like, why do they need to pay these people? Why is it not that much money? Why do they need to put these stipulations in when none of them are ever going to not post about that shit? Like, these are people who are self-selected to just be Democratic mouthpieces, who are not even really, like, they don't even have that much influence. Like, they have less influence than, like, Jeff Tiedrick.
Yeah.
Where's his money?
Jeff needs to get a bag now.
Honestly.
Yeah.
He's been out there. He's consistent.
Yeah. I like this one. One creator named Chesko, who goes by the Speech Professor online, applied to join the program because
Your name is Chesko and you go by something else?
Yeah, go by Chesko.
Chesko is cool, yeah.
I've never heard of a Chesko before.
His username is the Speech Professor?
The Speech Prof online.
Man. Yeah, these are Democrats.
Yeah.
It's only Democrats who have usernames that are like the Cool Professor, the Crunk Professor. Remember the Crunk Professor?
I love the Crunk Professor.
The crumping lawyer.
I went to college, but I'm a little crazy. And yes, I do listen to gangsta rap.
It says, applied to join the program because he views it as an opportunity to get access to people that have the funding or backing and actual research that I could use, he says. I mean, like, you're just doing
Are
posts.
you a professor or not?
Yeah.
It just sounds like a university, which you're supposed to belong to.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I'm doing this because it'll give me opportunities to have money put in my bank account?
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah, I guess so.
Going on here, she writes, the structure of the program highlights the vast differences between how Democrats and Republicans attempt to amass online influence. Republicans have spent decades building up a powerful independent media ecosystem, though the right-wing influencer world is far from transparent. In September 2024, a federal indictment alleged that the Russian state-sponsored network RT was covertly producing millions in funding to Tenet Media, a company working with major right-wing influencers, including Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Lauren Southern. In 2024, the Republican National Congressional Committee spent nearly $500,000 on working with Creator Grid, an influencer marketing company whose website says it connects Republican candidates with the internet's most powerful conservative influencers, according to analysis of campaign finance filings from the Washington Post. And I mean, like, I think this is like, you know, because obviously, like, the whole like right-wing media, online new media sphere is, you know, deeply corrupt and stupid as well. But I think, like, this does accurately identify, like, an essential difference here is that, like, Russia will wait for someone to blow up before they start paying them to do fucking videos for them. Whereas, like, what these people are doing are just, like, trying to, like I said, like, pick someone in the 5th round who's going to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just, again, it's hard to see any point in any of this besides Brian Tyler Cohn, like, justifying his $700,000. I don't know what he gets paid to lead all this bullshit. I'm assuming, you know, probably high 6-figure salary running this thing. All these people, the highest profile among them have, like, you know, 200,000 followers, I think. I don't think there's a lot of crossover in this group. I don't think there's a lot of people who are like, I voted for Trump in 2020. I didn't vote in 2024, but I love the DNC American Girls account and Olivia Juliana. I think I love those two. Again, like most things, appearing to be busy.
But it seems like the right wing, like I said, like they'll sort of adopt and start funding guys who have sort of already created for themselves, not just an audience, but like a political line or point of view, or like, you know, some weird conspiracy rabbit hole, or just like they have a thing, right? Like Alex Jones had a thing, like he had a sort of a brand. You know, Benny Johnson had a thing before he. Well, they'll
co-opt people who have like an outsider credential. I mean, that has happened in the past with like Democratic stuff, but it seems like now there's such a siege mentality that they don't even, if you've appeared as an outsider at all, fuck off. You are not getting this $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
We're not even going to try to co-opt you.
And like, like that's why like again, like this all seems so pointless to me, is because like they're trying to like gain purchase in the minds of young people or online or in independent media, but they're doing it all sort of but they're starting from a point of like, we're only going to fund people who already agree with us and who are 1,000% loyal Democrats already. So it's just like, where's the buy-in here? Like, where's the juice, like, and like, and seemingly like creating contracts which make it so that you can't ever sort of buck the party line in any way that might be surprising or novel.
Yeah. If you're taking them at their word that they're like trying to win back the online landscape, it's inherently self-defeating, even going just by their own words, because I mean, according to them, this is all a messaging issue that has left the Democratic Party in the state where all these, according to them, Democratic beliefs are uncool. So we're going to get the only people in this group who have any name at all have a name beyond just Democratic circles because they are constantly made fun of for being uncool in various different ways. Yeah. So it's just like, what, are they going to become cool by virtue of you paying them? I don't know. I mean, there's more evil things that I guess David Geffen could spend his money on. I guess it's good to just kind of waste his time and waste everyone's time. But it's, I don't know. This is barely one step above, like, just paying people to do like a one of those no work jobs where you just show up to a construction site and talk to other guys in lawn chairs.
Back to Vito again. Yeah. But, no, I mean, I think you got it exactly right, Felix, is that like this is all indicative of the fact that like they still believe or need to believe that like the Democratic Party is so brutally unpopular right now because their messaging just isn't working. And that like the delivery vehicles for like people like the sort of vectors of delivery for the message that the Democratic Party is doing great and everyone loves them and their policies is just not working anymore online. So we need to have more people towing that line. And like, I think the tell here is like all these sort of like incubator sessions about how to like, how to make your posts have better reach or how to get more, more hits or go viral or whatever. Like all that shit is always doomed to fail because it's just like, if you want an audience, just do good content, like do good posts, be funny, be amusing, be entertaining, be intelligent, make good videos. I don't know. Like you can't, like, there's no strategy that's going to sort of, I don't know, replace the fact that all these people are boring and have nothing to say other than Hakeem Jeffries is cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, if I am taking them at their word, this is like if Poland, a week before Germany invaded them, was like, okay, we're at a severe technological disadvantage. We need to get 4 times as many horses and 2 times as many biplanes.
we need a penny farthing cavalry division.
Yeah. Like we're at this inherent disadvantage because they have tanks, we have horses. We're using the first planes ever, and they have Stuka dive bombers. We just need more of those things, though, and then we'll be fine.
You could have done something. Yeah. If you throw enough horses in there, we'll fuck up the tanks. Like one horse, a tank can probably roll over. But like hundreds of them. Yeah. Like if you tried to run a tank through the Kentucky Derby, I think it would really grind up the treads and shit. Yeah. Like in Saving Private Ryan, they did it with a sock. It worked with a sock. So like 300 horses.
And I guess if Nazi Germany wins, you're losing all your horses no matter what. They're putting all those horses in the death camp.
Yeah, they killed all the Polish elites, all the intellectuals, all the nationalists, and the horses. The horses they rode in on.
I don't know. And it's just like the Democratic Party is unpopular because everyone hates them because like no one knows what they believe in, and the things that they do and say are also evil and awful, and everyone hates it. So like the way out of that is just like try to counter the messaging of anyone who could theoretically be on your side but is critical of the Democratic Party. Guys, I think we need our own incubator program for online content creators. And I was thinking, what would that look like? And then I thought to myself, that is Chapo FYM. We need to start funding, Outlaws Generation and people who review food in their cars.
Well, I think he might support Trump now, but
Well, we're gonna get him back.
That is it.
we need to win people over.
Yeah, we need
Democrats
to win
need
people
to do
over.
more food influencer shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about Olivia Giuliana. I'm not going to say anything.
No,
But
yeah.
I am looking at this American Girl doll account, and it does have a lot of likes on Instagram. And it is kind of interesting because it's Felicity. It's the American Girl doll that's like a Revolutionary War, not soldier, bystander, I guess, observer. But it is kind of interesting.
She was in the Continental Army's Child Soldier Brigade.
Yeah. We could have won faster if we had more child soldiers. And we let
Right.
girls in the army. Couldn't
you see Bede Skelton being into that American Girl account?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that could win him over. But it is kind of interesting because it's almost like a liberal tea party. Because they used to wear the little hats and the tea bags, and they got really into the Revolutionary War cosplay. And I guess this is like the Democratic version of that against Trump. Is like dressing up your doll as a Revolutionary War era person and using that against the president somehow. I'm not sure how well that messaging goes over. It doesn't sit that well with people on the left to do the Revolutionary War was good kind of thing. I think you could probably make it work. Like Mad King George and all that.
Yeah.
You have to bypass like the slavery stuff.
But Alex, I'm confused. Like, how are they relating the American Girl doll Felicity to like the current Democratic Party and like current political debates that are beneficial to the, I don't know, liberal media creator complex?
I think there are just dolls in the pictures.
Yeah, that is really it.
It's just like outsider art.
That would be generous to call it that.
I don't know. It gets more likes on Instagram than I do.
I mean, there's some bullshit on Instagram. What is this account called on Instagram?
Helicity Merriman.
Felicity Merriman?
Helicity.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the bid is for that.
That's pretty scary. Okay. Helicity Merriman. Is it... Okay, so I assume it's going to be one of... Oh, this is just fucking bullshit.
This is terrible.
I thought this was... Oh, God, I hate I fucking
What did you think it was going to be?
Alex, I thought it was going to be one of those accounts where it's like, here's Nicki Minaj as ring pops, and it's like her outfit looks like it's the same color as like a ring pop that someone posts. People do that kind of bullshit all the time. But no, it's like these very 2019 style super wordy memes. When you see memes in this font, you're about to see some absolute horse shit. Oh my God. This sucks.
Here's the buzz. We need an American Girl doll who costs pre-Trump prices. It's just photos of dolls with text, basically. And to be fair, it's like the creator herself is speaking to the camera a lot too. So it's like she's sort of a personality as well, but these are just sort of doll-based memes.
The dolls don't even need to be there.
It's like trying to reach out to basic women, not to be rude, but I guess it's like women who could be Republicans. Because like the woman who runs this, like if you saw her and you heard she was a politics influencer, you would probably guess she's a Republican because she has like bleach blonde hair and she kind of fits like.
And she's into dolls as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very like feminine coded, almost traditional aesthetic, but it's democratic. So I kind of get their thinking, I guess, because this is the kind of thing where it wouldn't automatically be democratic. Like these people could go over to the Republican Party, but I don't know.
I guess. I mean,
if they're giving her like $8,000 a month, maybe it's worth it. I don't know.
Why not? It's not even that much money. So
they should do like just as a control group to see how well this kind of thing works. Do the same kind of account, but it's one of those like terrifying anime guys who like fills a figurine in a jar filled with cum. Same style of meme and that same sort of like didactic meme font that was very popular.
There should be guys posting about like their cum shirt, like your mom taking your cum shirt out from under your bed and it's hard and it stands up and she washes it. Like they should have guys like that and just say, I support the Democrats.
Oh, they stole one of my jokes. We need an American Girl doll who lost her virginity in a Finnish basement while the Disney movie played loudly 10 feet away.
That's very specific.
Yeah. We need an American Girl dog who is crusty, white, and named Bella. We need an American Girl doll who had her first kiss under a Sunsetter retractable awning. We need an American Girl doll who treated the Disney Channel games with more reverence than the Olympics.
Felix, they're stealing all your material and
This
from your
is
life.
all.
What are the Disney Channel games?
I mean, I would assume they're less important than the Olympics, but I'm not the American Girl doll who treats them with more reverence than the Olympics. I would assume I would have to assume that it's like, you know, the cast of The Sweet Life and Zack and Cody doing the shot put. But there's a Disney twist.
Yeah, I guess I would treat that with more reverence than the Olympics, because I don't really treat the Olympics with much reverence at all, honestly. No offense to the athletes and the organizers.
No offense to all the countries of the world.
Yeah. No offense to the global society we live in, but miss me with that shit.
I love the Olympics, Alex. I always look forward to the Olympics. It's always fun to me. But yeah.
Will, this is one of yours they stole.
What?
We need an American Girl doll who tells SCOTUS to fuck off in front of a crowd of 20,000 people.
Wow.
We need an American Girl doll who can't even parallel park. We need an American Girl doll who builds park. We need an American Girl doll who builds bridges more iconic than the Golden Gate. I'm glad they named a famous bridge there. We need an American Girl doll who has spent the night crying on the floor of the bathroom.
See, okay, I think this content, I think Alex, I think you're right that like this is maybe trying to like stave off women who would otherwise be, seduced by far right wing politics and the doll collecting community. But I feel like a good chunk of this is just probably appealing to sexually depraved men as well.
Like really alarming men, like the types of men who were like first arrested for the John Benet Ramsey case.
Well, those guys
like
lean toward
John
Trump.
Mark Carr type guys.
We do need to win those guys over.
Well, there's a lot of them out there.
Terrifying perverts.
I think this account more appeals to like, I don't know, people whose personality changed after a car crash. I just can't picture anyone who like knows when you're supposed to vote liking this. Like
it's on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the people who like this, I just see them going, "Wait, we do that every year or every day?" This is for a very low functioning type of person. There's a group of American Girl dolls in a playhouse, and the caption or the words on the meme are, "Did you remember the weed?" That one's a little edgy for them. I wonder if that was before the chorus deal.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've seen some bullshit meme accounts on Instagram, but this is among the worst.
Well, I guess like a sort of follow up to this story is that like in the week since it's come out, like all of the people who are mentioned as being sort of part of this chorus incubator project have all issued statements like saying that the article is full of lies and distortions, and that like in no way is this some sort of coordinated messaging operation to sort of enforce Democratic Party groupthink. But the problem with that is that they all released virtually identical worded statements.
Yeah.
So but like I want to get to one last element of this story that I think is like an interesting sort of layer or reflection upon like meta commentary on the story, is that like the fact that the article was written by Taylor Lorenz, who is sort of something of a, I don't know, like a lightning rod herself, but like particularly in this story, because like didn't Taylor just get in trouble for like doing ads for some company that like sells smartphones to children or something like that?
Okay, so it is, I think it's either an app or just an entire smartphone that like it doesn't go on like Facebook or something. So apparently she did an ad, but it wasn't paid, which is one of the weird, craziest things I've ever heard.
She posted a video on her account that she labeled as a hashtag ad. And she said in the video that she's proud to partner with a company called Bark, which is, it advises parents on phone software to purchase for kids, like small kids. And I don't know, because like I don't know, like Taylor is like is she's been very vocal about being opposed to like efforts to restrict the usage of smartphones among school children, which I find somewhat baffling because like I think I mean like that to me. I don't have kids, but like it would seem to me that like I think it'd be wrong to say that kids can't have access to the internet or phones or shit like that. But like I do not understand why anyone thinks it's a good idea to allow them to like be used in schools, like when you're supposed to be receiving an education.
Yeah, if you're even kind of ambivalent on this, okay, get 2 kids, raise one of them unrestricted phone access, the other one normal style. See which one turns out better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a tough question because kids are going to get access to it no matter what. And everybody else at school is going to be talking about skibbity riz and all that bullshit. So like they're going to get inundated with it no matter what. And I think like even though it's objectively harmful, it is sort of helpful in a way in understanding the world. Because unfortunately, for better or worse, the world is kind of defined by that, by the dynamics of social media. Kind of the same thing with TV. Like it's objectively good not to let your kid watch a lot of TV. But we also live in a world right now that's completely shaped by TV. And we have the TV guy as president. And he plays to the ratings and everything else. Like he's completely defined by TV. So
Yeah.
if you have no experience with that, it's kind of hard to understand the world. And that kind of fucks you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, this would be the equivalent of like, because you know, like TV rots your brain. And like when I was a kid, my parents tried as hard as possible to like limit how much TV I watched during the day. But I think the difference is like because of technology, I wasn't able to watch TV in school, like in class. I wasn't able to watch TV constantly.
Unless there was a disaster.
Well, unless, you know, yeah.
Like they were launching a rocket that was about to explode.
Yeah.
They'll let you watch TV
we all had to
for
watch
that.
the Challenger take off on TV. Fuck, I'm not that old. But I don't know. Like I see like I think efforts to like make kids put their smartphones in like a bag during school hours so that they're like forcing them in some way to like not ravage their attention spans and just like learn something or pay attention in class. Like I did see Taylor, my favorite comment Taylor made about this is she was like, well, the internet is where people learn things. And I was like, well, yeah, but it's not the only place people learn things.
I think kids are more well-read and educated in certain ways because of that, but also it's really hard to guarantee that people use it for learning and they use it for the correct things because the profit motive encourages the worst aspects of it, like AI-generated Instagram reels and just the worst, like brain rot. It encourages brain rot. It doesn't encourage like reading Wikipedia or whatever.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, like to me, like the purpose of education at any level should be like producing human beings who are capable and even desirous of reading an actual book on their own time. And like, it's very hard for me to see how unlimited smartphone access is making that more realistic or a more,
You can read books on there. I read books on my phone.
I think
That's true.
The only way to really do this would be to just like like a national like blanket ban, and that you can't kids can have jitterbugs, but you can't have a smartphone until you're like 21 or something.
Yeah, I didn't have a smartphone until I was like 19, I think.
Yeah, I was older than that.
Yeah.
Like I had an iPod Touch before that, but I could have gotten an iPhone when it came out technically, but I just spent money on a gaming PC. When I was working at McDonald's, I got my paychecks. I wanted to get a PC. I didn't want a phone.
Well, I think that would, in my ideal world, that would be part of it, is you don't get a phone until you're like, I mean, I'd like it to be 25, but you get a gaming PC when you do like a summer service project.
Yeah.
Like a racing street art.
Kids do need to learn how to use computers more.
Yeah, but they're not learning how to use
downsides of
computers.
phones.
They're learning how to use phones. Yeah.
Like when I was that age, like to expose yourself to brain rot, you had to put in so much technical work, like learning how to torrent stuff and building a PC and like learning how to convert video and stuff. Like I was thinking about that recently, about how so much of my technical knowledge, it comes from stuff like converting Simpsons episodes to watch on a Palm Pilot.
Oh, I used to do that with the iPod video. I would rip it off the Simpsons DVDs that I had and create MP4 files that I loaded onto an iPad video.
Yeah, like so much of that.
iPod video, sorry.
The reason I did it was to get to the same place that kids can get to easier now, like just watching 24-hour Family Guy streams.
Yeah.
But it required more technical work to get it done. Which is
same with obtaining pornography, you know?
Yeah,
you have
the
to risk
same
the
thing.
embarrassment of asking for a magazine from a sort of a skeptical looking magazine clerk or news kiosk attendant. But these kids today, they got it too easy. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, again, like, and once again, like, so like if we're saying that like unlimited access to the internet is like okay for children, like, well, it certainly hasn't been okay for adults, or even Taylor Lorenz herself, whose output on a lot of issues is, I would say, somewhat odd recently. Like for instance, her contention that NYC DSA members are more fascist than actual Nazis at this point towards disabled people. At an event for Trump's inauguration with literal Nazis in attendance, I was masked. Multiple people there put on masks, asked if my health was okay, and one told me about his sick grandma. So, I mean, like, it complicates the issue.
No one's ever seen her without a mask at an event. That's
No,
for sure.
certainly not. Certainly
No
not.
one's ever, you know,
Yeah,
you never hear about that. But
I will just say, I think in general, you need like 3 or 4 reporters who, like, the stories that they do when they file a story, it's like, it's interesting. It gives you something to talk about, but they, as a person, they're insane.
Yeah.
I think it's socially healthy to have that, because I think there are a lot of reporters who are great reporters and they're regular, you know, like if in a just day-to-day situation, if it was like, I have to choose between this reporter or a member of the general public to like water a house plant while I'm gone, I'm picking that reporter. But then there are some types of reporters where it's like, all right, well, you should have an air tag on you at all times. You're a little bit nuts.
yeah,
I think if I asked you to babysit someone, I might come home and you're leg dropping a toddler.
the thermostat's at 87.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Democratic Party should pay her, honestly. They should have paid her not to run this article.
You have to believe a lot of like really stupid things to be a reporter. And some of the reporters that I put in the crazy, you know, that I would put on my crazy person island, but who I still think have done good articles, they're stupid in the way that they're, you know, credulous, or
Right.
that is their form of mental illness. It's rare to have one who's like, they have the same thing driving them that like Trisha Paytas does. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think to be like a good journalist in a lot of ways, you do have to have some sort of like oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time that, like, do you remember the episode where you and Adam were talking about when she talked to Libs of TikTok on CNN or whatever?
That was a bizarre interview too. Yeah.
Okay, so like months later, she like yelled at me about that because apparently you guys were like mean to her.
Oh, wait, I don't remember.
And I
was being mean to Libs of
it.
TikTok.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember what I said.
Adam might have said something that was like but it wasn't really, it didn't warrant like her like messaging me months later and being like, what the fuck? You know, it was, I didn't even see who it was from first. I just saw like this message that was just, what the fuck? Like first thing in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, do I owe someone money? And she was just like hectoring me about how like evil and stupid the segment was. And I was like, yeah, it sounds bad.
Oh, you blamed it on me and Adam, right? Okay, great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, they're getting fired. I was like, they're getting fired soon. Don't worry. But I wasn't on the episode, so can you stop yelling at me?
Yeah, you kind of have to have something a little wrong with you to be that committed to being a reporter in this media landscape right now. Like, that's the one thing you want to do, and you won't stop. Even after getting like fired and getting in trouble and stuff, and having all these controversies, like having to do that, like you have to have something has to be a little bit wrong with you, but it's in a way that's kind of compelling and interesting.
There's no other reporter I can think of who like would like message me about something that was on the show months ago and be like, what the fuck, you piece of shit? Like, I even the reporters who are like credulous or believe stupid things, that is a specific like Trisha Paytas-ness that I think it actually is very novel. among reporters. And I will go as far as to say I'm glad that there is someone like that.
Yeah, that's what the guy from the 1975 does. Like if he gets a bad review, he'll just send a long email to the person, just ripping into him. But Adam kind of dodged that because he had him on the show. So he doesn't have to deal with that. And he should have Taylor Lorenz on the show. I think that would be kind of interesting.
It's kind of normal for musicians to do that, though. I mean, you expect that from a musician.
Yeah, there's less professionalism required.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Taylor, if you're angry about this segment, please direct all ire to Alex Nichols.
Yeah, he told us to say all of this.
It's his fault. He did it. He goaded me into doing this.
I think she posted one of my tweets on her Instagram story.
Okay. Well, look,
not bad.
In that song we made, the David Sirota song where we reference her and say mask off, Charles wrote that. I made the beat.
I thought that was a really good line. I like the entire song, but that was a great punchline.
I'm in the Lotus. I'm feeling like David Sirota. I'm puffing on Yoda. I'm feeling like David Sirota. Don't look up was legit. I might run up with the stick. Well, it depends. I'm in the Benz. Mask off. Taylor Lorenz. I might fuck around and be up next from DC Nova. David Brooks. David from David Shore. Move over. Maddie Glacius can't pay for this. That Substack cash outrageous, but don't look up.
Look, I thought the Wired piece was good. I think she does good reporting, but some of her public stances I find a bit strange. That's all.
Strange is, I think, the best way to put it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a charitable way to put it.